We've been on the other side where we got 57 away from home, so there's no need for us to celebrate too much. Of course, the respect we have for them, they've given us shots many times, so we're just glad we got 5 points and we're in the mix in the rugby championships. Obviously, people are going to talk about the record. Last week they kept the record at Eden Park and they didn't put it into our faces, so the scoreline is nice, and for the guys to hang in there, it's nice. It's more for us what we're trying to achieve. So I know what it feels like in that change room on the other side. So it's nice, but I don't think we have to dwell on that.
Rusty, congratulations on the win. There was a lot of talk this week about your backline, potential of it being having a new generation feel about it. You obviously empowered and entrusted them with a lot with the response from last week. Can you just talk to what the performance you saw from those young backs and how much did they stake their claim to be part of the future of Springboks rugby?
Yeah, I think firstly I must say, we always try to say there's a couple of realities. It's opposition reality, our reality, and what the world's reality is, and then there's the truth. And the truth were, they had 8 players with less than 10 caps, and we only had 2 with less than 10 caps. So, we always saw it that way. It's that we've been building and giving guys chances at certain stages. And we're very happy with the performances they had, but the way the guys who didn't play this week prepared them for this game, because they played last week against the All Black team who, at one stage, they were really giving us shots. So we're happy to say that, we've used 40, I don't know how many players. But yes, guys put up their hands and they showed that they can do it at this stage. So it's nice to know that we had a lot of injuries today in this match. I'm not quite sure what the extent of those injuries are, but it's more that the trust from the older guys who did not play to prepare the younger guys is very nice. But New Zealand played also with 8 guys, less than 10 caps. So that was our reality going into this game. No, not at all. We wanted to get, first of all, it always works like that. The belief in the team is the most important thing. And when you chop and change, and which we have done the whole year, I don't know. I think we're in the mix of 1 or 2 in the world again. So it's a long season, and we've got an Argentinian team that really played well and are young and exuberant, and which we'll face in a couple of weeks of time. But we never do it to prove people wrong. We do it to people keep on believing in us, because we believe in South African. And I'm not saying to be soppy and all wishy-washy. We feel what South Africans do for us, and we reminded ourselves, even after the haka, we had a quick chat about that. That there's hundreds of millions of people back home who trust in us to give our best, and we gave our best, I thought, today. And so no, we never want to prove people wrong. We want them to keep on believing in us. Yeah, look, there's many players that I played with, Joost van der Westhuizen and James Small, Ruben Creer, Hannes Strydom, we can Chester, we can mention so many. But then in a week like this, I'm not quite sure the guys would even know Bevan really well or Jan Boland really well. But for me, it was a bit emotional. We won the Currie Cup for the first time in 29 years, and Bevan was a boy we signed from SWD. So for me, it was a bit more emotional this last day. But we didn't talk about that, to be honest. We just said that bring what you come from and where you come from to the party. So I personally for me, it was not a nice day and a half. But we did not, as a team, we didn't even talk about that, because there's so many people in my era which I played with that's not here anymore, that would have loved to be part of what the guys did today. So I said afterwards, I did tell them a little bit about Bevan, and Jan Boland and so on. So, but Cornell's gone, and there's so many, and that's what the guys are carrying. Those guys' legacy. Yeah, I think we spoke in the change room. We've achieved nothing. We're in the mix for the rugby championship, but Australia and New Zealand will sort each other out, and we have to play a really energetic, well-drilled Argentinian team in a couple of week's time. What's your question?
Evolution of the team.
The evolution of the team. I think we're getting better, and I think the first 30 minutes we still made a lot of errors. But I think the belief is listen, you can do it, express yourself, don't get like a robot. We don't pick you to be just doing your job and mechanical side of the thing. You are Damien Willemse. I mean, I remember Damien Willemse ran down Caleb Clark in Mbombela. And I sent him a video last night and said, remember this? And everybody, I mean, Ethan, everybody that played tonight, but it's the guys who's not playing that gives those guys belief. And New Zealand will go through the same. You know, they're going to pick themselves up and understand. Well, they do understand. Can tell them what they must understand or not. But this is people always say you must build depth and you must build squad depth. But then some people say, you know, you're taking chances. So it's a 24-hour job, keeping confidence. Nowadays with social media and what people say, you have to 24 hours like tell yourself, believe in yourself, believe in your teammates, believe in your coaches, and believe in when you announce a team on a Sunday evening before New Zealand where they smashed us last week. It's a 24-hour job to keep belief and if you want to fall on your own sword, you know, don't start pleasing people. And when you start pleasing just the people in the change room and the South African people, we got to the other side. And yes, our average age, I think, was with Kobus, who's 35. Our average age was 27 of the back line. The forwards were a bit older. But Elrich is not here, Cameron's not here, Salman's not here, Gerard Steenekamp's not here. You know, Eben did not play. So hopefully we are building and people can see that we're building. But the next game's results is again going to determine where we are really. As I said, they gave us 57-0, you know. So once you got all, it's nice. It's satisfying. But the reality is tomorrow they'll regroup and Argentina will look at our attack and our scrums and our lineouts, and then it's the next game again. So we're going to enjoy tonight. We're going to flip and definitely enjoy tonight. No doubt. Yeah, we'll have a good time tonight. But you know, when we're back on the plane and land in South Africa, then it's back to reality again. Then we second on the log in the Rugby Championship. I think we're lying pretty well in World Rugby on the log. But then the next two games will determine that again. So, you know, New Zealand didn't rub it in our faces last week when they got the Eden Park record and they kept it there. So for us, it's nice to have a winning margin like that. But reality is tomorrow, it's a new day. I think big turns were when we were on the try line and we scored a try and we felt maybe the ball was knocked on by them at the breakdown. That might have been a big turn where we lost belief, but we didn't lose belief there because we were 7-0 up there. And we, you know, you kind of, when you don't capitalize, when you go into the 22, you go, we're again not capitalizing. And I think that was the big chat after the haka and in the change room is that let's fire shots. Eventually it's going to come. And it did come eventually. So, you need a few things to go your way for the belief to get there and to click and guys to start believing. And yeah, I think that was a big moment, you're correct. Ja, die eerste ding is, dis lekker, dis baie lekker om New Zealand hier so te wen. Ons het nog nie baie in ons lewe gedoen nie, wel in my lewe nie. En die eerste ding is die belief of die geloof wat die spanne mekaar het. Dis, in my opinie, is dit deesdae 24 uur werk om te bly glo in jouself. Want daar soveel opinies. Maar soos ek vir julle gesê het, mense wil nie Suid-Afrikaners verkeerd bewys nie. Jy wil hulle aan jou kant hê, mense wil hulle moet in jou glo. En as jy foute maak, kry jy baie kritiek. So ja, die telling is lekker. Maar vir ons die belangrikste is dat ons ouens geroteer het. Die senior ouens gehelp het om die manne, ons nie baie jong ouens gehad, jong ouens in die span gehad nie. New Zealand het 8 ouens gehad wat minder 10 toetse gespeel het. Ek dink ons het 2 of 3 gehad. So ons het dit nooit, in ons werklikheid was dit nooit dat ons vat hierdie groot kans nie. Dis ouens wat al jare saam met ons kom. Damien Willemse het al 2 World Cups gewen, 'n British en Irish Lions series. En ek geweet ergens gaan sy dinge bymekaar kom. En toe verloor ons Fassie en ons verloor 'n klomp ouens in die game. Loort het ernstig beseer, Fassie is ernstig beseer. So die groot ding is wat ons uit die game uitvat is nie die telling nie. Is dat ons in die mix is in die Rugby Championship en dat ons right is in World Rankings met 'n belangrike draai aan die einde van die jaar. En die heel belangrikste is dat Suid-Afrika kan sien ons glo in mekaar en ons kan voel dat Suid-Afrika glo in ons.